What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with another video with those 10s and 20 views. I got nothing planned. I had no ideas what I was going to do. I was trying to get everything new set up, then I realized I have too much crap. I think I need to order myself a shed, and football streams plus work equals I'm just going to record a reaction video for today. So today we are reacting to WrestleLamia's botches that made WWE matches better. WrestleLamia is a wrestling site. I am a big wrestling fan. Haven't really watched much wrestling lately due to the fact that, I now stream every Monday night primetime game for football. I play D&D on Wednesdays, and then Friday I just relax. It's me day. Normally record Saturday's video. But that's it. Let's get down to it. This is botches that made WWE better. Yeah, I'm back here. I didn't want to really grab anything. It's just a simple way of doing it. But let's just get to it. Make sure that's on and click. Oh, if you don't know what a botch is, it's something that's didn't go right or unplanned. Like this one right here. Batista was not supposed to get eliminated. It was only supposed to be John who got eliminated. But because of this, Vince McMahon ran out and blew out both of his quads at the same time. So that's why he sits.
Botches that made a WWE match better. Number 1, the glass won't break. Shane McMahon versus Kurt Angle, King of the Ring.
Oh God, yeah. I've seen the highlights of this enough times, but oof. Now is this picture quality me or is this picture quality him? It might be me. Let's drop this up to that.
Now say what you want about the disappointing WCW ECW invasion angle, but that story did provide us with several gems.
Okay, every so often like this thing, I can't go to a certain quality or it just goes, yeah.
If you've never even seen Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon, you've seen plenty of video packages of Kurt suplexing Shane through the glass.
I want to say it was at least the second, maybe even the third time.
This was a botch as the glass didn't break on the first try, so Kurt Angle continued to use the suplex until it did. What the botch did was elevate Shane McMahon's character. We knew that he wasn't in the former WWE Champions League, but Kurt doing the belly-to-belly spot over and over again made him come across as a scrappy, never-say-die wrestler, which is a great component to have in these types of matches. Suddenly,
yeah, I knew it was a lot of times, but holy crap.
It didn't seem like Kurt had the match easily won because of the toughness of Shane McMahon, and they had fans on the edge of their feet throughout the remainder of it.
Sad thing is, if Shane actually, at a younger age, just got in and trained to be a wrestler, and then, then did all this stuff, he would have been arguably one of the best wrestlers. He was crazy athletic and willing to do anything, and could cut a great promo. It's just he had no real formal training.
Unpredictability is wrestling's biggest component. While it's harder to be unpredictable in today's landscape, having this shroud of mystery creates intrigue and interest among the fans. Though Shane lost, he earned some newfound respect by taking so much legitimate punishment. Number 2, RVD crushes Triple H's throat, the Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship Survivor Series 2002.
I don't remember this. Granted, I didn't watch many pay-per-views growing up, especially this era, because I'm just a poor boy, and my family was not going to order pay-per-views to watch. And all my friends who did watch wrestling, they weren't like, hey, we're going to have a pay-per-view party. Let's go watch it. And again, they were on Sunday nights and had school the next day.
Now, the first ever Elimination Chamber match remains the best even 20 plus years later. What
God, the bad Kane wig.
made this match work so well was that each man had a history with Triple H, which made every wrestler feel like a credible threat because everyone was on the level of Triple H. More importantly,
Was Rob Van Dam on that level at this time? We all know he was, but in the WWE landscape, was he? I think this was his, really put him over the top.
these guys had excellent chemistry with one another. Of course, the Elimination Chamber match was far from perfect. Hell, it wouldn't even be on this list if it was. That brings us to the infamous 5-star frog splash that RVD hit, crushing Triple H's throat. Triple H was already a bloody mess, but the Elimination Chamber was billed as a violent and dangerous match, and that unexpected injury upped the ante of that
Well, that was a 1-star frog splash. He did not get a good jump there.
element. A danger and violence is a sly storytelling element that keeps the audience invested in matches like these. If the fans didn't believe in the action, then they wouldn't invest in the story or gimmick. Wrestling is like a fantasy where we need to connect with everything that's going on between those ropes. While I'm sure Triple H would have preferred not to have his throat crushed, that one moment helped propel that great match into something incredible.
And that one just looked like Rob didn't feel comfortable jumping off that, and he couldn't get like a good elevation or get where he wanted to. Because I've seen him hit like 5 stars from like long distance, like sharp angles, bad angles, and never land awkward.
Number 3, Brock Lesnar botching the shooting star
Oh dear God, this one. How is this not higher?
press WrestleMania
Or is this just a not really a countdown, but just list?
19. Now you've seen this botch time and time again, yet Lesnar vs. Angle is still listed as one of the best WrestleMania events in the 20.
Crazy thing about this, if they just went out there and just had a technical wrestling match, no one would have questioned it. It would have been like one of the greatest matches of all time. This still was a great
Century.
match.
There's no doubt that it was cool to see such a behemoth pull off one of the best high-flying moves in pro wrestling, but what this botch did
We did not pull it off.
was add drama to a match that somewhat needed it. And we all know that Brock Lesnar was winning here. This is Kurt frickin' Angle, so he was already a certified main event star. But this was a passing of the torch moment for Lesnar's babyface run.
Also, I think Kurt left and went to TNA. He had a longer TNA run than WWE run, and a better TNA run than WWE run.
It was clear that something went wrong given how much of a sell job Lesnar was doing. This was a genuine moment where it seemed that Kurt Angle could actually win. Sure, the illusion was crushed 10 seconds later when Brock Lesnar hit his third F5 and pinned Kurt, but that botch gave Lesnar a vulnerability that was missing throughout the match. Without that botch, it still would have been a great match, but it elevated into something far more memorable because it added drama and characterization to a story that felt extremely predictable.
Yeah, that's the big issue with some of these matches, especially modern day with like the Roman Reigns stuff. It's like you have this guy who's like an unbeatable machine, and it's just like, okay, cool. How is he winning this time? It's not even like, oh, is there a chance? That's one thing I do like about AEW. It's like you get less of the, oh, I don't really see a chance every match. Like, it could go like this, which is what makes wrestling great.
Number 4, Vicky Guerrero forgets her cue to stop Eddie, SummerSlam 2005. The Eddie Guerrero
This was the Dominic Mysterio briefcase match. And which is hilarious because you look at Dominic Mysterio now, he's more of an image of Eddie than he is of Ray. Like, yeah, if you ever seen Ray without a mask, you can tell that they're father and son, but it's just like everything he's doing gimmick wise is so much like an homage to Eddie Guerrero.
Rey Mysterio feud in 2005 was the very definition of sports entertainment at its finest. Sure, it was ridiculous, but there was a ladder match for the
Yep, that's Dirty Dom right there. That blonde hair little kid.
custody of Dominic. All the pieces of the puzzle fit into this melodrama. The ladder match wasn't about spots, it was about storytelling, which is why Vicky missing her cue to stop Eddie only helped the match further. And when Eddie was struggling to get the briefcase off,
Oh yeah, he was. You listen on him. He's yelling like, "Becky, where's Becky?"
Mysterio and Eddie masterfully improvised a spot, and Eddie's reaction once he hit the mat was great. Him getting frustrated and legitimately upset fit his character to a T, as the whole reason this feud started was because Eddie couldn't beat Ray. However, if you heard the close-up of Eddie shouting about Vicky missing a cue, then it would break kayfabe for the most.
Yep. Yeah. So him being frustrated was he knew how big that spot was, and Vicky not being there, he thought was going to ruin it.
But WWE was clever enough not to get too close to Eddie's angry rant, and it made his actions seem in line with the overall story. An incredible and emotional ladder match that managed to overcome the silliness of its soap opera angle. Number 5, Sim Snuka.
Sim Snuka. Who's Sim Snuka? I know Jimmy Snuka and Tamina.
Fails to catch The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. Now, The Undertaker vs. Shawn Michaels is a flawless match. Granted, Sim Snuka may not feel that way because it was a match that got him fired, but the botch dive from Taker onto the cameraman helped heighten the drama between the two veterans. Now, for those...
Yeah, that's a hard spot. He figured he has to drop the camera and get there in place.
You don't know, Sim Snooker played the cameraman and he was supposed to catch The Undertaker. He didn't, and it took some time for the WWE Hall of Famer to recover. But what this one botch did was allow fans to soak in the story of this amazing match and buy into Shawn Michaels beating The Undertaker, consequently breaking the streak. And that long countout was a nail-biting moment because of how real that incident felt.
Also, I think he was placed a little too deep. I mean, too far away. So when Shawn pulled him, he's like, "Oh crap, I have to get up," instead of just being like, "Oh no, here's the Undertaker."
We as fans didn't know that it was a botch, but the sell was so brilliant that it
See what I mean? Like, look how far away he's like. He should have been like almost headbutting him.
was easy to buy into the notion that Taker had nothing else to give. Every fall after that botch had fans on the edge of their seats until Taker finally got the 3 count. The right botch can elevate any good match,
See, I mean, like, I think if he was a step or two closer, he would have caught him
especially
easily.
when you have strong in-ring technicians like Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Number 6, Cesaro breaks his front tooth. No Mercy 2017.
This one was just unusual.
But whether it's Tyson Kidd or Sheamus, it seems like you can't do any wrong putting Cesaro in the tag team division. WWE's makeshift tag teams rarely work, but the bar had
See, that's because how good Cesaro is. The man needs a long-term title run. Like, as much as it's great that Mox beat Brian Danielson to retire him, I think if Claudio would have done it, I think it would have elevated Claudio status way up. And I think
excellent
that's the first
chemistry
thing
with
better
one
too.
another. Most importantly, they could go between the ropes. Of course, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are no slouches either, and these two had a banger at SummerSlam. Now, even though it was clear that Ambrose and Rollins were going to retain in their No Mercy rematch, the tag match got better once Cesaro accidentally damaged his front teeth after he sent flying
Yeah, Cesaro overselling a little bit. He jumped a little too far, and
into the ring post. It added some grittiness and spark to the match, and there was a moment where it felt like the bar would actually regain these belts. But this injury helped put over Cesaro's character, made him look like a total badass fighting through the pain to win back belts WWE have told us were worthless for years. When you have
they still tell us they're worthless. For the love of God, go back to one main event title and one tag team titles. It's
moments of men or women fighting through tremendous pain in a title match, it puts over the value of those belts tremendously. It also gives a character some dimension that every story demands. This is one of the best tag team title matches in modern era of wrestling. Number
modern WWE era, yeah. Modern day wrestling, no. There was way too many good New Japan AEW matches to even get close to being like in the realm.
7, the 2024 Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. The 2024 Women's Money in the Bank ladder
Look at that, a bunch of people who no one cares about. Naomi is a legit star. Tegan Knox, who I think is on the far end, is kind of, and if that's EO. I haven't seen much. Yeah, you have 2 legit like stars here.
match is a continuous car crash you can't turn your eyes away from. It's fast and filled with botches, but for some odd reason, these botches actually worked in favor of the match. Ladder matches are no stranger to botches.
See, it's one of those things where there's like I heard someone say this and it was 100% true. You got characters like John Moxley. Him not hitting moves perfect fits the character. Someone like Daniel Bryan, who's a tactician and masterclass at that, he should hit every move beautifully and safely. But someone who's not, who's more gritty, should.
Botches, especially when it's multiple men or women in a match. Those botches tend to come from overly complicated spots and dealing with multiple people in a chaotic situation. The 2024 Women's Money in the Bank ladder match
That is bad. That was even close.
works so well because nothing feels contrived and fake.
Oh, again, there's a difference of like slipping off the ladder, but if it's stationary and you're dropping people badly on it, that's just not good.
Botches bring out the realism in wrestling, and there's never a point where any of it ruins the flow of the match. And that said, it doesn't mean the entire match is filled with botches, as there are a couple of memorable sequences, including the excellent ending of Chelsea Green being pushed off the ladder by Tiffany Stratton. Is it the best ladder match you'll ever see? Well, no.
I don't like Tiffany Stratton. Her character bores
Not
me.
even close, but it's a great example of a chaotic match that works well in its own way. And number 8, Drew McIntyre is accidentally busted open Hell in a Cell 2024.
Oh, this match got started off way too slow. I actually live streamed this. One, I hate the fact that Prime logo goes in the middle of the ring, but it's just like it was such a slow, but it accelerated quickly.
This is the match that
Should have been main event.
made Hell in a Cell cool again. Now don't get us wrong, we've had several gems like Triple H and Taker and Edge and Taker, but the concept itself has been destroyed by the stupid gimmick pay-per-views that weaken Hell in a Cell's reputation. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk are in the running for the best feud of the year. The promos
Hangman Swerve has to be, in my opinion, the clear winner. But yeah, this has been a decent one.
and storytelling were top-notch, and their final match ended on a superb note. However, the botch comes from McIntyre being busted open by a toolbox. Now, according to rumors, Punk was the only one who was supposed to bleed, but McIntyre's bleeding further cemented just how personal this feud was, and it backed up Punk's mental state leading into the match. More importantly, it brought back the danger and violent element of the Hell in a Cell that's been missing for quite some time.
Well, the whole point of Hell in a Cell was like, we don't like each other so much that we just want to be locked in a place where we can just deal as most damage. You can't escape. You can't get out. That was the point of Hell in a Cell. And like he said, the themed pay-per-views, in my opinion, were the worst thing in wrestling because it did. It's like, oh, let's have a TLC match. It's like, wait a second. The reason why TLC was so great, it was rare. Like, that's one thing I also say about WWE's booking. It's like, you had Drew versus CM Punk 4 times in a calendar year. Okada Mega, I don't even think had like 4 singles matches yet.
Blood can be a powerful storytelling tool when it's used correctly. Since it's rare to see color in the WWE these days, it makes a match or segment stand out when it actually happens. But there you have it, folks. 8 botches.
That was his 8 botches that actually helped the match. I cannot say I agree with the women's ladder match because I've never seen that one. But yeah, the other ones are, in my opinion, correct. But yeah, no. Yeah, like, the fact that Punk and him face each other so often, I think it's like that whole quantity over quality thing, or it's like, yeah, I'm getting great matches, but it's like I'm already tired of the feud. That's it. That's all I have. I will see you weird people later.